Almost all modern sewing machines can sew buttonholes. It is very convenient and saves you a lot of time and money. However, sewing a perfect buttonhole on the sewing machine can be a challenge. The secret is in the stitch length. When you're setting up your machine, you need to set the stitch length to the shortest stitch possible, depending on the fabric you're sewing with. Let's switch to the buttonhole stitch. Usually, machines are programmed to certain default settings. Try changing the stitch length to the smallest number available. For example, switch it to 0.2 and try sewing a test buttonhole. You should end up with a neat result. Let's compare the result to the buttonhole stitched using the default settings. It is noticeably less tight, which makes it less neat. This is how only one small setting change can help you achieve the best results. But sometimes the buttonholes don't turn out well because the sewing machine gets stuck and starts bunching thread. That can be a result of the stitch length being too short. Increase it at least by 0.1 mm and the issue will be eliminated. Now let's talk about sewing buttonholes on different fabrics. The most common problem with thin fabrics is that the sewing machine starts chewing up the piece, making it impossible to stitch even buttonholes. To prevent this, place a piece of water-soluble interfacing or web to the buttonhole placement on the wrong or right side of the garment. It will stabilize and stiffen the fabric, resulting in a balanced and neat buttonhole. Stitch a buttonhole as usual and then carefully remove the piece of web or interfacing. To sew high-quality buttonholes on knit fabrics, reinforce the buttonhole placement with a piece of knit interfacing. If the resulting buttonhole doesn't look good enough, try applying a piece of embroidery stabilizer additionally. It will stiffen the area and ensure the stitched buttonhole looks neat. When you are finished, simply remove it from the fabric. Some sewing machine brands offer a special tool that can help sew buttonholes on heavyweight and thick fabrics. It is called a fabric feeding aid. It secures the buttonhole foot on top and provides support. All you need to do is insert the fabric in between the tool plates. It improves fabric transport by feeding a larger surface through the machine. The resulting buttonhole looks balanced and crisp. If you don't have such an aid, try using a sheet of paper. Place it over the needle plate and proceed to stitch a buttonhole as usual. The paper will help feed the fabric through the machine more smoothly. Next, let's look at how to sew a reinforced buttonhole. Take a thread that will be used for stitching a buttonhole and fold it 8 times. Flip the buttonhole foot, secure the threads in the hooks located on the front part of the foot, guide them to the back of the foot, and tie them into a knot. You should see 2 streaks of threads in the foot's opening. Attach the foot to the sewing machine and stitch a buttonhole as usual. The zigzag stitches should be sewn on top of the thread streaks, enclosing them. When the buttonhole is finished, remove the pieces together with the buttonhole foot. Trim off the peeking threads close to the stitches. The resulting buttonhole looks very chunky, solid, and pretty. Before cutting a buttonhole open, we recommend applying a bit of fabric glue like Fray Check by PRYM to the stitches to prevent fraying. Once it's dry, the glue is non-visible. It will additionally reinforce the buttonhole and prevent it from fraying, stretching out, or deforming during wear. If you're using a seam ripper to cut a buttonhole open, don't forget to insert pins at both ends of the buttonhole. The pins will not let you accidentally cut too much and ruin your piece. We hope these tips will help you create the most beautiful and neat buttonholes.